Good evening and welcome to the Aha Moments show that lasts, Aha Moments that Last show with Inez, Bracy. And I'm absolutely over the top thrilled to be with you today, coming every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I look forward to joining you and you joining me and us just having a great old time talking about things that matter, even though sometimes we don't know they matter until we reflect back on it. But things do matter. And as things begin to matter more and more in our life, we get to breathe into it, we get to own it or not. And whatever it is, remember, whatever your next is, everything is always working out for you. Because everything is always working out for me. So whatever your next, even though sometimes we have all these grandiose plans and we know what we want to do, we have it all written, scripted out. And something comes along and that script that we wrote just becomes another piece of paper that goes into the trash or into the fireplace to be burned. Because whatever came along was so derailing for us that we were just unable to get back on track. So tonight, as I'm talking about these aha moments, I'm going to talk about 6 principles that will help you change your life so that it will support you when your aha moments come up for getting healthy and staying healthy, because that's really what it's all about. And whenever we start to decide to get healthy and stay healthy, it takes a commitment, a really, really, really strong commitment. It takes willingness, and it takes the energy around knowing that my next is me being really, really healthy so that I can live a long, healthy life, that I can be the person that I know I'm put on this planet to be. And I'm also excited about the fact that not only am I here to do something to live my purpose, but in order to live my purpose, it's important that I live a healthy life. So are your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs causing you to think too small? So sometimes we don't start living a healthy life because we think too small. And that smallness could be so much that I'm not going to buy organic, or I'm not going to just eat veggies, and all these knots that you put in your way to stop you from really living on your path. And the more you put these knots in your way, the longer you get to think small. Other people can see your greatness. They're like, wow, what is stopping Jane? What is stopping Inez from really being the person that I know she can be? And only Inez can stop Inez, just as only you can stop you. So when you decide, it's okay for me to give up those things that don't serve me. It's okay to think bigger. It's okay for me to live my life in such a way that I exude joy, bliss, and splendor all the time, because that's who I am. And when you know that you know that you know, it requires releasing attachment to those things that don't serve you in the space in which you desire to dwell. When you decide to step away from thinking small, I call it myopic thinking. When you decide to step away from that, and you really realize that thinking this way just enslaves me to the stuff that I don't want. And who wants to be enslaved by anything? So when you start to dream, you have your daydreams, and sometimes your daydreams really become a nightmare. And that nightmare is because you know you have it all within you, everything that you need to be the person that you know yourself to be, and you won't allow yourself to do it. Because you won't allow yourself to do it, it keeps you thinking small. As you are thinking small, I remember I had a coach one time and she said to me, oh, Inez, if you could just see what I see for you, you would be amazed at yourself. And I thought about that and I started thinking, well, how can I see bigger? How can I see what she sees for me? What do I need to do to see and play bigger? How am I going to benefit from this? And working with my coach, I got to the point where I could see bigger. And as I began to see bigger, I noticed a change in me, a change in my life. And as I noticed the changes in my life, it started to feel good to me. See, sometimes we have such a big gap between what we know we desire and what's possible that it just seems so unreal. It seems surreal. Every time we go forward, the gap seems to get bigger. When we decide to work with a coach, work with someone who can really see for us the bigness that's in us and allow us to catch up with that by giving us some tools that we can use. So having the understanding coach helped me to really get to being in the energetic space of allowing myself to use the principles that I learned in working with this coach. One of the things that we talk about on this show is aha moments. Aha moments for you can be your intuition giving you a practical benefit, something that hits you and you said, I don't see it yet. I know this is a message for me, but I don't see it yet. And the aha moment is when we look at it again and we realize, wait a minute, I now see it and I can go forward. Because the moment that you really grasp it and you know that you can go forth with it, it makes all the difference in your life. And that difference comes in such beautiful, beautiful ways. And as you are grasping this aha moment to move forward with the aha moment, seeing it for what it really is and allowing yourself to be open-minded to it. We talked about that last week. As you're being open-minded to this aha moment, as you are embracing it and getting yourself motivated to do it, because no matter what it is that comes to us, if we are not motivated to get off the couch, if we are not motivated to put one step forward, if we are not motivated to pick up a piece of paper and write something down that might be just a trigger for us to get started, what good is your aha moment? It came and it went and you're still where you were when it came because you didn't take the motivation and you didn't empower yourself to get started. So that is one of the principles to help you change your life. And as you take this principle and use it, you're going to discover more and more aha moments coming. And you get to choose. You get to know that this is for me and go for it. Another principle is combining all phases of your life. Learn to make work play and play work. Develop some positive habits that get you into routines that support you in all the things that you want to do. Now, how do you do that? Come back to this paper and this pen. Let me tell you something. Paper and pen will have magic when you use it. When you decide, I'm going to combine all phases of my life. You know, we like to live in compartments. We have a compartment for going to work. We have a compartment for what we're going to cook. We have a compartment for who we're going to see. All of these different compartments sometimes can become very confusing because it gets you running here, running you there, and running all over the place. But when you decide to combine it all so that work becomes play and play becomes work, now you have some positive routines that will support you in all these things. And these positive routines is before you get out of bed, you already know what you're going to do that day because the night before you prepared yourself for that. Just because you know what you intend to do that day doesn't mean that everything is going to go your way. It does mean that whatever happens, when the contrast comes, you can look at the contrast and see whether it is to support you in creating the things that you desire that day, or if it's something you need to put on hold to come back to while you go through all the things you already knew you were going to do that day. This is all a big part of creating the life that you desire, the healthy lifestyle that you desire. Because a big part of combining all the phases in your life, you will start to hydrate more. You'll drink more water. You will notice the foods that you're buying. You'll start shopping on the outer aisle in the grocery store because that's where the healthy foods are for the most part. When you start going down those center aisles, most everything in there has been processed. And most of it has a lot of high fructose corn syrup in it. It has a lot of these sugars that are no good for you. And that is why you keep eating them, because sugar has that taste to it. You don't even realize that's what it's doing to yourself. You get to know your strengths, which is your third principle. And as you get to know your strengths, let's take, for instance, you decide, I am really going to, the rest of this year, I'm going to work and focus on getting healthy. What can I do? What strength do I have that's going to support me in that? Because I really enjoy just stopping at a McDonald's or Chick-fil-A and getting my food and going home and sitting and watching the sports channel, or watching the cooking channel, or watching the travel channel, whatever you do. How do you have the strength to put a pattern interrupt in this, so that when you do that pattern interrupt, when you leave your workplace or whenever you're on your way home, you breeze by McDonald's and all the fast food places, because you know you went shopping the other day. And when you went shopping, you decided to shop on the outer aisle. So you got to get home and prepare something. And then when you're preparing it, you can start thinking about, am I going to take the rest of the day to watch the sports channel or the cooking channel or whatever channel is my favorite? Or I'm just going to take a little walk after I eat or before I eat. That's a strength. And as you start to getting more in touch with your strengths, you start to think better, and it becomes a catalyst for playing better, for taking better care of yourself. Just one simple change, one, will get you started. And do the one simple change that you know you can continue. You can continue to go shopping at the store however often you need to go. You can continue to breeze past these fast food restaurants. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to eat out sometimes. Of course you will. However, when you do, you're going to be so much more aware of what's on the menu and what you're putting into your body that it's going to make you start to smile. And the old you will come up and say, oh yeah, the other night, one time I would have had that, but today I'm going to have this. Because you have gotten into the energy of loving yourself so much and paying attention to your aha moments. And you notice that you're feeling better. You're sleeping better. You're sleeping longer. Have more continuous sleep at night. That is just amazing. Do you know there are so many people in this world who do not sleep well at night? They don't sleep in the day and they're always on. And then they wonder why they're tired during the day, they're irritable during the day. They haven't had enough rest. The body requires restorative sleep. And restorative sleep allows the body to heal itself, to fuel itself, to prepare you for the next day. And if you're not sleeping, your body's not able to do that. That's a huge part of getting healthy, to be able to sleep at night and sleep well. Wake up in the morning energized and ready to do whatever you have decided for the day. So know your strengths. And the more you know your strengths, the more you know that you will be able to do those things that are your heart's desire. And you know, our heart desires so much stuff. Much of it is from the inside. It's what we really, truly desire. But we can't do that because it's never been done before. Just because it's not been done before, it doesn't mean that you can't. So one of the things that I know for sure is this. When you decide to start to change your life using these principles that I'm sharing, or other principles that you already know, to get healthy and stay healthy, it makes a big difference. And when you make that decision, it's going to require you to be somebody you've never been before, to do some things continuously that you've never done before. Yeah, most of us have tried a diet or 2 or 3 over our lifetime. And in trying to cut back for whatever, we're going to go to a class reunion, we're going to go to a friend's wedding and all this stuff, whatever it is that makes us get on these diets. For the moment that event or that whatever happens, we're back to normal because we can't hardly wait. That's how we programmed ourselves. We're going to eat this and stay on this diet for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, up until the class reunion, so that when I show up, I'm going to look all beautiful and glamorous and thin. And in your mind, all you're thinking about, I can't hardly wait to get back to how I used to eat. And the very moment that you leave this event, You can't hardly wait to get to the airport or to get in the car before you're stopping to chow down on something that your taste buds have been calling for, because your mind has set yourself up completely to stay in the energy of continuing on this path. So as you are going through these principles that I'm sharing with you tonight, you get to own them. Now, ownership will give you that strength that will keep you on your path. And this ownership of it is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. There are several gifts that you will give yourself along your path to the aha moments, to creating the lifestyle and the eating patterns and the health and the exercise and all of that you desire. The biggest thing is to remember it is entirely up to you. It is all up to you. And whenever you decide you want to stop, you want to get off this train, get off the train. But as long as you're on this train, enjoy it. You can walk through the cars, experience the rolling of the train, and that is how your mind will treat you, how you will work, because sometimes things just begin to show up that you didn't intend. The fourth principle to getting healthy and staying healthy is to take the path that curves. And when you take that path that curves, you start to see yourself in a different way, start to see differently. You become unafraid, you become courageous. And as you become courageous, this is taking the road less traveled. And there's a whole book about taking the road less traveled. When you take the road less traveled, sometimes it can be a lonely place because you seem to be out there by yourself because you haven't yet connected with others who are also traveling on the road less traveled. The more you stay on it, though, you start to attract to you other people who are taking the road less traveled because they want to get healthy and stay healthy. And as you start to getting healthy and staying healthy, seeing the pounds fall off or the pounds come on, some people really need to gain weight. Others want to release weight. Whatever it is, your whole mindset will show you what it is your body desires. Your taste buds change so that you're calling forth those things that your body desires. Your body wants to move. We were not born to sit down all day in front of a computer. We were not born just to sit and watch TV. We are born to move. That's why when we start to move, our body starts to feel so much better. And if you're one who hasn't been moving for a very long time, you've been sedentary, your job had you sedentary, you drive 2 hours and back and forth to work, you come home and all you want to do is sit down. I get it. I definitely get that. It takes a made up mind to change and break that pattern. It takes a made up mind in order to move forward, and just one little thing at a time. I remember when I was in Fiji and they had Cyclone Winston coming through. And Cyclone Winston was already forecasted to be a Category 5 storm. That's a hurricane. So everybody is running around, grabbing water. My neighbors are saying, come on, Inez, let me take you to the store so you can get what you need and all of this. And I went with them because I wanted to be ready for it. And just about 3 hours, I think, before we came ashore, my friend whose husband was in New Zealand called me and said, oh, my husband just called and said that the cyclone is going to land 2 degrees north of us. And I said, 2 degrees? I want 20. Well, cyclone came, was made all this wind and rain. So I decided, well, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to go in here and go to bed. And I went to bed and I slept through the whole thing. The next morning I woke up, there were a few twigs in the pool, birds were singing, the sun was out. And 2 degrees north of me was total devastation. Total devastation. Now, why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because imagine, just imagine with me for a moment. You have decided, you know within your heart of hearts, you know within your soul, you know within your body, you know every piece of you knows that you want to make this change. Even though you want to make this change, it seems like it's huge, it's 360 degrees. How about this? Instead of just 2 degrees, do 1 degree a day. Do 1 degree for your one simple change. Each day you do that same 1 degree until such time as now you can do something else as a one simple change, adding on to what you're doing. And as you add on to that, you do that continuously. So you make it easy for yourself. You don't have to have the devastation of it because you're creating your own. You're creating your own path. You're creating your own joy. You're creating your own bliss. And because you're going to do that 1 degree, every time as you're doing that 1 degree, you start to feel better and you feel more empowered. And then you do another and another. And the next thing you know, your routine has been set. You become courageous in everything that you're doing. And you stay on your road that's less traveled because you find people, it's almost like people are following you, they're gathering with you and behind you because you're all on the same path. And that's number 5 principle. Create a supportive environment. A supportive environment that stimulates you. As you allow your environment to evolve, you're going to find out who supports you and who doesn't, because the people who don't support you will start to fall beside the wayside. They just cannot stick. They can't stay. It's like Teflon. You know, when Teflon first came out, everybody was raving about it because now your food wouldn't stick to the pan. That's what Teflon does. So those people who are not there to support you, they are not in the evolving stage as you are, they are not consistent, it's okay because they're not going to stay. But as you evolve and support yourself into who you are and who you're becoming, because we are always becoming, whether it's intentional or unintentional. And when we decide that we're going to be intentional about our becoming, now we get to feel the energy of it and embrace it even more deeply. The more we embrace our becoming, because you're looking at yourself, you're feeling good, you're noticing yourself, you're just smiling more because now you've taken charge of you. And as you take charge of you, it gives you the freedom. And that word is so powerful. Freedom to be. And things don't bother you like they used to because you know who you be and because you're free. Being free is just one of those energetic spaces and vibrations that you know that only you can free yourself from whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It could be food, it could be water, it could be whatever it is. Free yourself from spending 8 hours watching TV on the weekend. Free yourself from whatever it is that's got you not being the person you know you were put on this planet to be. The 6th principle that I use to change my life is to read everything. See, some of us have certain genres that we will read. We want to read self-help books. We want to read cooking books. We want to read all this kind of stuff. Read everything, because ultimately, everything that you read becomes a part of you. So you choose the part that you want to keep, and then the other part you just let go. A big part of reading everything helps you to become uncompromising in surrounding yourself with bigger ideas. You can get bigger ideas from any book that you read. And it's like an aha moment, because I never would have thought of this had I not read the book. And then some things as you're reading it, it comes like gliding right past you. And it's like, oh my goodness, it glided right past me. But let me go back and look at this again. And then when you go back and look at it again, it's like, okay, I got it. I got it now. I got it because I know that I can take this and tweak it to support me and my journey on which I'm taking. The journey that we take is up to us indeed. It is entirely up to us, whatever journey we decide. My hope and my wish and my desire for you is that you will take the journey to get healthy and stay healthy by giving yourself permission. That's a big one too. Giving yourself permission to say, okay, I've been toying with this. I'm always saying on Monday, I'm going to start. Monday come, the next Monday come. or I will get this done, and you're still sitting there. That reminds me of when I had gained weight and all my little clothes were in the closet. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I really need to take this out and get them out of the closet and give them away or do something with them. And I would sit on that couch, and this was a daily thing. I'm sitting on the couch thinking about getting rid of those clothes. And finally, one day after like 3 months or more, I get up, I go into the closet, and I just start pulling things down, putting them in a bag, pulling things down, putting them in a bag. And as I pull the things down and put them in a bag, I decided, well, I'll just take them and put them in the garage. And then some say, nope, no. Put them in the car, take them to UPS and send them to your niece. And I did that. She was so excited when she got them because they were her size. I was never gonna fit in those again. So what are you saying that I'm going to do and you still haven't done it? What are you saying to yourself? Oh, I know I need to get this done, but I'll get around to it. Get around to it. Go and cut out a piece of paper and write on it, get around to it. So every time you start to think about, I need to get around to it, look at that piece of paper, get up and get it done. That's another gift that you can get to give yourself. Do it now. Now is the only time that we have. So now it's the only time that we have. Get it done now. And then sit back and just relax and enjoy all that you have done. That's one of the most beautiful things that you can do. As you decide to use these principles, to read everything, to be in the energy of listening to your intuition, to be in the space of knowing that I deserve it, to be courageous on your journey so that you can stick to it. Do one thing at a time, 1 degree at a time so that it's manageable. If we try to do 15 things, we're setting ourselves up for failure. So what we want to do is set ourselves up so that we have at least a better chance of success. And this better chance of success will only come to you when you give yourself that permission. Take the path that curves, the one that's my lips are getting twisted. Take the path that curves, the road less traveled. Know and embrace your strengths, because I can tell you right now, that's what's going to keep you going. And as you know and embrace your strengths, you get to combine all phases of your life. As you're combining all these phases of your life, your intuition will give you the aha moments that you desire. These aha moments are your moments to just bring into your heart and soul. These are your moments to hold on to. The aha moments give you the opportunity to change your life now. And as you are changing your life by going down your path, you will find that everything matters. And because it does matter, you get to choose. And because you chose to change your life to get healthy, stay healthy, do the things that's going to give you the joys of your heart, keep you laughing, get you excited, give you the courage to go forth. And you will also notice that there will be other things coming to you that you didn't even think about. And as these things are coming to you, it's because you open the space to allow new ideas, new thought patterns to come. And in reading everything, you're going to get so much value from that, because books have value. And even if you don't actually read the book, Audible and all these other things that you can listen to books on, do that as well, because that really is your ultimate goal. So I am Inez, your health and wellness coach, with aha moments that change your life and last. It is so amazing. Remember, whatever your next is, and I've given you some principles that you can use to start on your next right now. And as you start on your next, be in the energy of expecting, accepting, allowing, and receiving. With all of the expecting, accepting, allowing, and receiving, now you know that you know that you know. I am on every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. I look forward to seeing you next week. And we will have such a grand time. We'll be talking about aha moments in a different way. There's always something to talk about, you know. And as we talk about these aha moments, you get to design your own plan. And as you are designing your own plan, you can move from wherever you are. It doesn't matter. The first thing to do is to make the first step, to start. And as you start, life begins for you in a different way. And as life is beginning for you in a different way, it just makes you so excited to be here. I will see you next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific.